What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be about restorating a beautiful set of headlights on my Mitsubishi Magna, affectionately called the Ragnar. So, to start off with today, we're going to start off with some basic ingredients that I've conjured up from the mailbox of hell, where it's just random advertising. We're going to be using some magazines so that we can cover up any form of paint so that we don't actually get any of this stuff on there, because we don't want that on our actual body or any type of paint other than the headlight. To cut costs, I've actually just gone off and get like 2 different types of sanding paper. First, I start off with 400 and then I move up to 1500 grit. That is more than fine. Usually see people go up to like 3000 or 2000 grit. Really depends on the finish you're getting, but I find that this will usually get the job done. So does 1000 grit. I'll use this along the side of it. So any dust and powder that actually comes off the headlight, we can actually just wipe it off before starting or going on another row. You'll know what I mean when I explain that later.
As you would have probably realised by your pristine deduction skills, half a brain cell here forgot to mention that you do in fact need a can of clear coat for this.
Let's get right into it. Right, to get ourselves started, we're going to start getting our shaky protector ready. So what you're going to do is you're going to rip with whatever paper or cover that you've got. You're going to try and evenly try and spread it across your paint. Something like this. What I usually do is I kind of cheat it, actually. I'll just shove it under the actual headlight and then I'll tape it up like that because it doesn't get on the headlight, but it's enough to cover the actual paint. So I'll go off and just cut off to that. I usually do suggest that you actually clean your headlights before you start polishing. Because next minute you got bug guts and you actually start sanding your actual headlight in with Steve the dragon. What are they called? Dragonflies. I know my bugs. To get us started off, you're going to grab your very bougie P400, which is usually the starting rate that I get these. And I've handsomely divvied these up into squares so that I actually have more and the right amount I use per headlight. So what you do is you put this, go that side, and you actually just fold it into like 3 parts. So it kind of gives you a good rough estimate of how much of this you got left. And when you do each side, you just unfold, go to the next, turn around, you name it. Right, so now that I've actually cleaned the headlight, remember that you do that because you don't want to rub Steve into your headlight. You're going to grab your piece, and the most important thing is you're going to try your best to actually apply this evenly across the headlight. Otherwise you get weird streaks across your headlight. It's actually the the parts of your fingers. But hey, you do you. So, oh, Steve, get out of here. I have no time for you. All right. So this is why we use the tape, because as you see, you're not going to be perfect. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. So you're going to try your best to actually sand this evenly along. And you're going to be working along. You'll also find that with a lot of the older headlights, you wear in bowls into the sandpaper. When that happens, just pat it off. Try not to keep going when that happens, otherwise you actually rub in grooves into the headlight, which you really don't want. So as you see, as I do that, you've just got little bowls. Just pat off your sandpaper as you go along. Go again. One of the most daunting things, my beautiful cover. Anyway.
Oh no! Anyway.
The most daunting things is while you're doing it, you're kind of just like, wow, I really hope this works. Wow. Yeah, it gets messy too. And I think a lot of the hard work is actually trying to stay in between the tape. Normally you can do a better job than I have, but as I said, I'm halfa. So all I'm doing is trying to stop the clear coat from getting on the paint, and also me slightly skirmishing the sides here. But you do you. As long as it's, again, good enough. Oh, there you go. So now I've actually got started to ball here. So that's the actual unevenness of the headlight. And doing this, you're actually smoothing out the actual headlight, but you're also kind of adding a bit of grooves in there yourself, which is very hard to see, but that actually allows the clear coat to seat onto the headlight. Laborious task this is, I'll tell you what. Oh, defeated. Righto, I honestly think that's enough for 400 grit. But up to you if you want to keep going. Some people prefer to keep going to really make sure it's a good finish. But personally, I'll leave it at that. So I'll let you have a good look at that. So that's 400 grit. Yeah, it looks shocking, I know, but once we get to at least 1,000 or 1,500, it starts to look much better. So again, fold into 3 parts, as so. And then using your 1,500 grit, or actually halfa, sorry, almost forgot. One of the main things of these 1,500 grits works really efficient if you have just a dabble of water. So just slap it on your hands, fold it 3 parts, sorry, wrong way around. And just gently apply like a thin coat of water on it. And then go to your headlight and go again. See, thing with Magnas, they have really big headlights. Now, I've done cars like V Commodores and Toyota Corollas and Pajeros, but I find the Magna to be the hardest because it's really long, but it's so thin. And mind you, I'd imagine the Silvia would be even harder. You're kidding. I hate birds. Why? Literally in real time. Didn't they say something about bad luck if something poops on you? What happens if it poops on your car? A little bit of foreshadowing or something. That or it's good luck.
This is actually one of the more famous bird superstitions. It originated from Russia and was considered good luck, as the chances of this happening were surprisingly low.
Right, this headlight is technically done, but really up to you how much further you want to go. Ultimately, it doesn't really that matter. But on the plus side for you guys, do not worry if it looks like this. That will come out. I found that when I first time did it, I got worried about that. So convenient for you. I'll finish up on this, I'll do the other one, and we'll cut to the bit where I actually start, doing the clear coat. One of the biggest things I can suggest that when you're about to the clear coat stage is turn on your car, put your headlights on. A lot of the time when you see people like show you how to clear coat and, resurface the actual headlight, they don't apply proper heat or they use a heat gun. And then a lot of the time it's actually like throwing the clear coat everywhere. So if you use the actual headlights, this is kind of dependent that you use halogen, but yeah, warm up the headlight first for like, I don't know, not even 2 minutes, then apply your clear coat and it'll come out spick. Now, obviously, because while I was doing it, I've absolutely butchered my halfa job covering. So I'm actually gonna have to patch that up and see how we go. But while I do that, I've actually got a special key. You're gonna love this. And I'm going to start the car and get that ready. So, right, now I've got my secondary key and I've got my main key. Now, you might be wondering, why do you need the secondary? Well, I'm about to show you. See, the thing is about my engine is it likes to be special and it doesn't actually, well, you're about to see, doesn't actually tension the timing belt. So I'm currently battling that every time I have to start this thing. I have to full rotate the cam before starting it. So nice. Second of all, you grab your first key. Make sure she's not neutral. Been there, done that. Chuck it in. Ragnar. So headlights on, high beams on, and then you put on your hazard and you should be able to heat up your headlights in no time. So I'll just chuck that in there. Put out the window. All right. So as I said, don't actually stress that they look like this and that they look absolutely shocking. It will come out all right. They usually come out quite nicely. I'll show you the ones I use. So this is from Repco. You can just buy these kits regularly. It's just a UV, clear coat. It does really well. Right, so I'm going to do some patchwork up on this. See how we go.
The kit he is referring to is the Repco Headlight Restoration Kit, which lists for $66 on their website.
Right, getting back to it. I've done half a job as promised, and now the next mission is to actually use the clear coat. Make sure you actually shake this stuff up. You want all of that mix to actually work. Also, one quick thing, just make sure it's nice and warm, and you should be good to go. So let me just shake this up and do this just so that any stuff that's stuck in the nozzle, it actually clears it out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put it around this far away from the headlight, and you're going to try and go in even layer patterns. It's going to go spray, spray, spray until we get to the very bottom. Now, hopefully I don't botch it up myself, because that would be absolutely embarrassing. So what we're going to do, now, just take your time with it. You can absolutely just take your time, go across. You will eventually cover it. Normally you're meant to do 2 coats. Each coat, take 5 minutes before you start the next. So look how much better that is already. So now we're gonna move on to the next. And just take your time, deep breaths, don't overthink it. Otherwise, you will half a job it. There we go, nicely coated. Let that sit for 5 minutes and we should be good to go. Hopefully. You never know. God, I love Magnas. Absolute gorgeous machines. Good Magna. Good Magna. Now that enough time has passed, spray on a new coat, just making sure that it's been 5 minutes from the previous coat, and you should be, pretty solid. All right, so again, nice even layers across, and you should be good. Oh, never trust these nozzles, man. You always gotta make sure. Nice. And same one for this. All right, and that should do us. All right, I'll do some spring cleaning and we'll see the aftermath. Right, let's get to it. Let's take a good gaze. I'll let it run for a hot minute. Currently we're at 7 degrees Celsius on the engine temp. Cheeky 6G74 engine and absolutely $1 million headlights. My Lord, it looks better. So we'll just put this down for a sec. Much better, if I do say so myself. Right, I do hope this actually helped you out in your endeavors. Try not to half-ass it like I do, and maybe you'll do a better job. Thanks to everyone who watched the video. Hopefully it was helpful towards, restoring your headlight as it did me. It actually came out quite nice and I was pretty happy with it. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye!